Today, I wanted to leave you with a thought about reclaiming back your life. Okay, reclaiming back your life, and how does that happen? Okay, for starters, we all live in a very chaotic world. We are, constantly running after things, constantly busy in our lives, constantly creating. Our lives, and on a day-to-day basis, if you I like to go back to an example that there's a very famous hi there's a very famous woman called Carolyn Miss who has done a lot of work. She's an energetic intuitive, and she has done a lot of groundwork in uh, emotions and and she's done a lot of groundwork in reading your chakra system and arriving at what could be probably causing a problem. So she questions mind, body, spirit alignment and then analyzes you. Her name is Carolyn Miss, if you want to look her up. She's written a fantastic book called Energy, Anatomy, and Healing. And I've done a lot of reading, and I align myself a lot with her stuff because I've done a little bit of chakra work myself, if you understand the chakras of the body. And when we look at our lives, we're looking at our health from the food perspective. That's one angle, and then you got to layer it with, because the food is creating the foundation for you to create this amazing blood structure and therefore to establish an energetic structure, right? So to make sure that the atoms and molecules and organisms within your body are functioning well, not just your organs. Where do you take that? So where do you go that? So when you look at your life and you look at reclaiming your life back, so that's happened to me. Like I said, I like to come from my stories. I went through a pretty hard time. Uh, when I got divorced, and I wanted to reclaim back my life. I wanted to get back on track. I wanted to get myself out there, and I wanted to really work hard in establishing my life back again. And that's the time I asked myself, like, what do I do? And what are some of the tools and principles that I use to do that? And I like to leave you with a little bit of it today, because I think I'm doing the work of leaving food tools for you to look at on the posts. But today I'd like to talk about, looking at what other tools did I use to reclaim my life and make it really simple for you. So there's a takeaway here, right? It's very important to leave you with something more and leave you with something more of value. So for starters, think of yourself as a 100-watt bulb. This is what Carolyn Miss says, okay? You're using X amount of energy in the day for your daily tasks. You're using X amount of energy a day from that bulb, like you're using 10 watts to have a bath, run around, do your exercise, maybe even more. You're using about 30 to 40 watts in stress. You're using another 20 watts to do something else. And by the end of the day, you're exhausting this 100-watt bulb, and that's you. Okay, so you're completely getting exhausted and you're running on empty. In macrobiotics, we have a term called running on an empty cylinder. So you're running on empty and you're constantly pushing yourself, and with the result, something called chronic fatigue builds up, right, over time. And there's an accumulation, and in all of this, you're also being there's all this media information coming in. There's, you're reading the papers and you're getting affected by what the papers say. You read glossy magazines and you find I'm just saying, there's a lack in you. There's a song by Baz Luhrmann on never read magazines. They only make you feel how much you don't have, and I agree with that. Though it's nice to keep in touch sometimes, but it's nice to also keep your distance. You're getting all this information from news channels and you're plugging into that. So a lot of your opinions are not your own. A lot of your opinions are being formed by what the society says or what others say. And in all of this, you lose track of who you are, and you lose track of what you are all about, okay? For so this is what started happening to me when I got out there. Okay, I was inundated with the amount of energy I had expended on uh, you know fighting a case of divorce. I was inundated with too much information because I was trying to survive. And then I had to get up and say to myself, well, what do I want? And I've talked about one of my lives where you sit and question about what's your happiness, okay? What do you seek happiness for? So today I wanted to talk about three simple principles that I use to reclaim my life. Okay, I wanted to make it simple because I used a whole lot more, which I've tried to highlight in my lives, but I'd like to just tell you how I worked at it. Um, Number one is I used a lot of meditation. So I have one of my videos which I haven't uploaded to IGTV, but it's on YouTube. You can check it out. I used Vipassana. So the Vipassana is really simple for you guys. If you sit in silence and just focus ingoing and outgoing breath on this portion of the body, just this portion of the body, okay? You sit in silence for 5 minutes and you bring yourself to be quiet, because to reclaim your life you have to listen to your inner voice. To listen to your inner voice you have to be silent, okay? So you focus your breath, ingoing and outgoing breath, close your eyes and just on this spot. And what's going to happen is you have to remain extremely vigilant and you have to remain extremely equanimous. So thoughts will come, okay? You will have these surges of thoughts, because and then even sitting for that 5 to 10 minutes in the morning may be tough, but you do it. You make yourself in Vipassana we say adithan is a Pali word for strong determination, okay? So you take this adithan. In Pali it means Pali into English it means strong determination. You make an adithan that you're going to sit for 10 minutes and you're going to concentrate breath on this portion of your body, incoming and outgoing breath, so that you start silencing your mind. I have done a video on this, guys. I'd urge you to look at it, and I'm going to try and get that video to upload it on my IGTV for you if you've missed it. So this is the first step to quieten your mind, okay? If you're not using this step and you can use another step, please go ahead and use it, okay? Use anything that taps into silence, and do a 3-day exercise on switching off from things which are on the outside. So this is going to help you, this breath work is going to help you, and things which are distracting you in terms of newspapers, in terms of magazines, in terms of information on the news, in terms of opinions of other friends. It's nice to sometimes question who is your club. Gary Zukav, who talks a lot about your own story, talks a lot about how to, if you read Gary Zukav, he's another author I'd like to throw out there. If you talk about looking at what Gary Zukav's work, he always asks you to question your club. So question your club, guys. By this I mean question who is a part of your inner circle, okay? Your friends that really matter to you, or your friends who really create toxic relationship, a toxic environment around you. There are people who are a part of your circle. I remember when I was going through a really hard time of my life, my brother sat me down and he asked me, look, and he reads a lot of Gary Zukav as well, that who is a part of your club? Are you really questioning it? And I did this really great exercise which came out of Julia Cameron's book, I think it was her book, which is you draw circles, right? You go from the inner circle to the outer circle, okay? And you start putting in things in the circle. The smallest circle is what matters to you most. The outer circle, and I'm talking about not just teenagers can do this, Bhavlink. You in the inner circle you put people that matter to you, for people. In the outer circle you put people that matter to you less, and the largest circle is people that matter to you less, and then the outer circle is people who don't matter at all. This picture gives you a great idea of distancing yourself from the outside and coming back to the inside and really looking at who is in that inner circle. You do that for situations as well. Put things in the inner circle which do not serve you, or which really matter to you, or which you need to prioritize. Go out and put things which do not serve you that much, and then your outermost circles which do not serve you at all, and that you're indulging in on a day-to-day basis, okay? So you do this, and it starts making things clearer to you on what matters. So that's your first step. You sit in silence every single day. Second step is you do this exercise every single day, so that I'm giving you a week to gain some clarity on where you stand. All right. Once you do that, and once you find that silence, there is that inner voice which will start talking to you and tell you, listen, you need to do this to reclaim your life. Okay. So one of the other things that I've done, and I've done zealously, is establish a sense of routine and discipline. Okay, which means establish a sense of rhythm in my life. It's very important to me to be fiercely dependent on what I do on a daily basis. So if you look at Mother Nature, you have the seasons, right? The seasons come and go. You have the tide in the ocean, it ebbs and flows. You have, night and day. There's a regularity to nature, and therefore there has to be a regularity to your lives. Okay, you have to establish some form of regularity in your lives and rhythm in your lives so that it works for you. So, if you notice, most people who come out of chronic fatigue or come out of being slightly disoriented are the kinds who have not rested their lives on a set of principles and discipline that works for them. For example, if you get up and brush your teeth every day, I get up and meditate every day, I get up and exercise every day. It gets a bit boring, yes, but in your normal scheme of things, that's the way things should work. And then when you travel, it should become a part of who you are. So establishing rhythm and discipline, okay, is really, really important, is really, really key. So again, I'm going to recap. Sit in silence with meditation. Number two, establish some kind of rhythm in your life and some kind of routine in your life. Okay, very, very important. Number three, start making those circles and start outlining what really matters to you. So if you can't make those circles, it's really simple. Put it down on a piece of paper. Make 3 columns. These are the people that serve me, these are the situations that serve me, this is what doesn't serve me, and this is what doesn't serve me at all. What you start doing is you start narrowing your own energy and aligning your own energy with what you want in your life. And I've done a live on this. I think it was one of the lives where I said, question what makes you happy, and I think you should see it. So restoring this and for silencing yourself, taking a decision, this makes you take a decision to go inward. Okay, and when you're taking a decision to go inward, problem is that I can't implement what I learn. The reason why you can't implement what you learn, Nishant, is you need to question your sugar, and you need to question how much sugary foods are coming into your life. So on a food level, you need to switch off the sugar to do this. It's really, really important. You need to, when you sit in meditation, you can sit anywhere. You can do it on your bed. You can start by even doing it lying down. This is for bhavling. You can start by lying down and focusing on your breath. You can start by sitting up and focusing on it. You can sit cross-legged, sit in a chair, but sit anywhere. Just do it, okay? Very important to start. Once you start and you get better, increase the time, okay? So I want you to focus on how long should one meditate. Like I said, you do it for 5 minutes and keep going up. So anyway, your questions are coming in, and they don't relate to this live, but I'm going to take them up anyway. Why does doctor give you depression medicine for colon problems? Because your colon is connected to your brain, and it's your second brain. It's the enteric nervous system. So anything that you're going to do, anything that's going to go wrong with the gut is going to go wrong in your head, and anything that's going to go wrong in your head is going to go wrong in your gut, and then you're caught in a vicious cycle. So that's why the doctor will give you that to calm you down. That's why there's a probiotic in the market that is basically targeted for people who are depressives, okay? Because there's a strong connection via the vagus nerve between the two. The gut-brain axis is very, very important. So maybe I can do a live on it sometime, or we can question the gut-brain axis in one of my, I know I've done it on one of my posts, yeah? So let's look at reclaiming your life. I need you to walk away with this today, that it is possible. I used meditation. There is a video out there for you to start. I need you to go inward, and I need you to start questioning things that matter to you, people and situations that don't serve you. I need you to start establishing a rhythm and a routine to your life, and rely on it fiercely. Um I need you to set the rhythm of your life in place on a daily basis, even if you take 5 habits that work for you. In my case, it's meditation, exercise, engaging in play, writing my journal, and having a writing the journal which also has the blessings in it. Okay, every day, and also every single day I make sure that I have a whole grain in my life. Yeah, so that's like routine for me, and I don't veer far away from it. So I want you to establish those things going forward, just 3 simple steps to see how you are going to reclaim your life and how you are going to restore some amount of rhythm to the way you are going to live your life. Okay, very important. And that itself takes you to a great place of a sense of well-being and a sense of being contented. Okay, that's a springboard from your food. So the foods is your first layer, but your second layer is uh, establishing these principles. Carissa, I talked about a journal where you write 3 things in your day that you were thankful for. That's a blessings. It's your own journal of blessings. Okay, I want you to do this. I've covered it in one of my lives, and I've uploaded it on my IGTV. If you can watch that, that tells you about the journal that you can use to spring from gratitude. And of course, at the end of the day, having immense gratitude for everything. Hi, Vinay. So good to see you. So, soul food is, yes, my brand. Soulful is not my brand. Soulful Ragi is not my brand. And so, reclaim your life, guys. 3 principles: meditate every day, sit in silence. I've shown you how. I'm not just leaving you in the lurch there. Sit and establish a rhythm to your life, and take a decision to turn inward. And by this I mean to turn away from things that don't suit you and people that don't suit you. Those are the 3 simple steps to reclaiming your life for this week. If you can do that and then go forward with these principles, I'm sure you're going to gain a lot. Bye. Bye, everyone.